Hello guys and welcome to another log of Vital Bracelet BE, and for today's log we are covering a new BE memory. We are starting with Tanjiro as the first log for Demon Slayer 02 BE memory. So we've finished Demon Slayer 01, now we are moving on to Demon Slayer 02. For those who are interested in Digimon or raising virtual pets, you have come to the right channel. I document every Digimon that I raise and upload at least twice a week. If you're interested in such content, go ahead and slash the like and subscribe button with Tanjiro's katana and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my uploads. For the next couple of videos, we will be covering Demon Slayer BE memory, so for Digimon fans, please understand and hang in there. Once I'm done with this second Demon Slayer BE memory that I own, I will be back covering Digimon content, specifically the Digivice color evolution. Meanwhile, I hope I can get you interested in Demon Slayer. Kimetsu no Yaiba is a really cool anime. If you haven't checked it out, go watch it. For those who are here because of Demon Slayer, I hope I can get you interested in Digimon and virtual pets. Those are really cool stuff too. Alright, let's get into today's log. We are starting with the Demon Slayer 02 BE memory. So I've been putting in the chip, and now we finally see Tanjiro Kamado, and he will jump straight into phase 3. So unlike the usual Digimon BE memory, usually you have this child stage that appears for like a 1 hour, and then 3 hours later you'll finally become rookie level and you can do some training and raise some vital values. For the character Vital Bracelet BE series, for those character type like the Demon Slayer, as you can see, it just goes straight into phase 3. It doesn't let you play as Kamado Tanjiro, as a younger version of Tanjiro, and train him on his vital values. But as you can see here, this is Tanjiro Kamado in phase 3, and though he can fight, he obviously doesn't look like he's in his fighting outfit. Yeah, in this case, he's actually wearing something that looks like pajamas. In this case, really, it's just his resting and recovery clothes. So Tanjiro Kamado here, phase 3, is actually in his rehabilitation arc. So before I continue, disclaimer here, some of the profiles I'll be covering here contains potential spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, go watch the anime first. Consider yourself warned. So Tanjiro here is obviously a playable character, and as you can see, we'll be cycling through some of that battle animation, and since once the battle is done, we will move on to look at his sprite before we cover his profile. Alright, anyway, before we jump into battle animations, let's check out his sprite. So this is Tanjiro's idle animation. This is just him standing, and let's take a look at his resting animation. This is his resting animation. It's a typical high knee one again. Alright, we've seen that before. And let's look at his walking animation. We can do that. Yeah. Oh, we can see Kanao here, one of the upcoming characters you will encounter. This is his walking animation, and we should definitely change the backdrop. I was using this backdrop for the previous BE memory because it was fitting for that character, but I think it's time to change it to something that fits his outfit in that sense, right? So this is why he'll be looking like this. Alright, and for those who are wondering why is he in his thing that looks like pajamas, we will talk about that shortly when we talk about his profile, but I'm just going into the sprite animations. Oh, and he's blowing the god. Oh, this is good. This is good. I like this training animation. This makes it unique, specific to this arc. I like that. I like that when they make that training animation unique for this. And yes, this is related to the arc and why Tanjiro is looking like this, and we'll talk more about that in his profile later. Let's look at his dash animation. It's probably just going to be typically running here. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Oh, look, his happy animation, I just noticed, looks like something that is a comment that... Alright, so he's just holding up a cup, right? Probably he's recuperating. So anyway, we have just documented all his sleeping, walking, training animations. Let's look at his profile, and at the same time document the battle animations for that. But just have to give an overview on this BE memory as well. As you can see from the cover, you can tell that we have Rengoku here as well as Tenzen. I think that's his name, the Sound Hashira. So the Flame Hashira and the Sound Hashira. So this BEMemory actually covers 2 seasons in that sense of the show, the Mugen Train arc as well as the Entertainment District. And it actually does cover slightly on the Rehabilitation arc, if you can even consider that an arc. So technically it covers part of season 1 as well, which is the Rehabilitation arc. So for those who are watching Demon Slayer on Netflix or Prime Video, you know, that's kind of like partly season 1, and season 2 would be Mugen Train, and season 3 is like Entertainment District. So yeah, it covers quite a bit of content compared to the BEMemory 01, and that's why you have a lot of characters here, as you can see. So that's just a preview of what is to come. So anyway, since you are done with that, let's check out Tanjiro's profile while I simulate some battles here. Alright, so we are looking at Tanjiro's profile here, and this is his write-up on the Vital Bracelet Arena app, and I have to say I'm slightly pleasantly surprised. So I think by now, based on the past couple of vlogs, it's become apparent that I'm rather disappointed. I was rather disappointed in the Vital Bracelet Arena write-up, because between the different profiles of the same character, but as he progresses through different phases from phase 3 to phase 4 to phase 5, the profiles were always the same content. They didn't actually bother to update it, even though the form has changed. But so with that in mind, I was half expecting that even in the Demon Slayer 02 BEMemory, the profile write-up, they would just use the same profile write-up for Tanjiro that appeared in the Demon Slayer 01. So in Demon Slayer 02, it seems like Tanjiro actually has an updated profile. So it says, a kind-hearted boy, he joins the Demon Slayer Corps to turn his younger sister back into human. He uses water breathing technique as well as Hinokami Kagura. He has a good sense of smelling, and with Uzui leading the way, Tanjiro sets off with Nezuko, Zenitsu, and Inosuke on a new mission to the Entertainment District. So, on the bright side, I feel happier that the profile is updated. On the other hand, it's like, hey, this is such a huge disrespect to the Mugen Train arc. There's no mention about Mugen Train arc, so this is so obvious that this profile write-up is meant for Tanjiro for phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, because, you know, it's just there for the entire BEMemory. It's just going to be the same as Tanjiro progresses through phase 3, 4, 5. So you're going to use the same profile, but that's fine. But how can you not mention Mugen Train at all? How can you not mention anything about Rengoku? He's just jumping straight to Uzui. Respect for Uzui, the Sound Hashira is cool, but there should be some mention about the Flame Hashira, and he is in this BEMemory. So why do you just ignore the entire arc? That's not fair. But anyway, let's get to his profile and why Tanjiro is looking like he's just wearing pajamas. So this is actually the start of this BEMemory, and this is the Rehabilitation Training arc, where it's actually part of season 1, right after the Spider Demon. So in the previous log, we have just covered Shinobu Kocho and the conclusion of defeating Rui, one of the 12 moons. But right after that, they actually introduced Tanjiro, Nezuko to the Demon Slayer group of Hashiras basically, and the Lord himself, the leader of the entire corps, and they accepted them. So that's great, because actually it was against the rules for Demon Slayers to be traveling with demons, because demons were their enemy. But anyway, I'm not going to go into detail on that. But right after that, they actually went into rehabilitation because they have to recover from the injuries and also to grow stronger. So during the rehabilitation training, following his battles, I'm talking about Tanjiro, after his battles in Mount Natagumo, which is the arc that we just covered, Tanjiro recovered from injuries and trained with Kanao Tsuyuri, who is also an extremely talented demon slayer, and the Tsuguko, I think, not sure if I'm butchering this, Tsuguko of the Insect Hashira Shinobu Kocho, who we mentioned in the earlier log, just one log ago. Now, what's a Tsuguko? Tsuguko is like it's like a successor to the Hashira. So the Hashira picked somebody that they deemed worthy to be their disciple and to be the next in line to be the Hashira, yeah, basically. And Shinobu Kocho here eventually enables him to match her, right? So, sorry. And through the training, Tanjiro was enabled to be able to match up with Kanao's ability. So we'll talk a bit more about Kanao later, right, in her log. So she will have her log, but in short, she is at the next level. When we are looking at rehabilitation training arc, it is clear that Kanao is of a different level above Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke. Our three main characters here, they were all slightly weaker than Kanao in terms of abilities. So they have to train this thing called total concentration constant. So what it means is that you are constantly maintaining total concentration, which further enhances your physical abilities. In this case, enhances Tanjiro's physical abilities, and Tanjiro was then capable of fighting and beheading So I'm not going to spoil that, we'll talk about that later. It's part of the upcoming arc that comes after this rehabilitation. So that's why Tanjiro is in his pajamas. He's in this rehabilitation training, he's recovering. It's kind of like a hospital plus physiotherapy plus extreme training, kind of like the training that Goku and Gohan goes through in the Cell Saga, for those who know that reference, and I think it's a good representation and comparison, because let's take a closer look at total concentration constant. Kimetsu no Yaiba page is really good. So yes, I've been referring to the fandom page for more information. So the earlier one is also from Kimetsu no Yaiba, but in this case, Kimetsu no Yaiba's fandom page actually talks about total concentration constant. It is a breathing state during the morning, noon, and night, and even while asleep, that advanced demon slayers such as Hashira can constantly maintain. That's why it's called constant. You're constantly maintaining total concentration. So there's an immense difference in strength, speed, and stamina between someone who can maintain total concentration breathing at all times and someone who cannot. And by doing it every minute of the day, one's physical fitness drastically improves. Learning to maintain a constant state of total concentration breathing requires tremendous effort though. The skill itself is noted to be quite elementary, despite the required effort. So when Tanjiro first heard of the constant technique, he thought it was impossible, as he already found it extremely hard just to use the breathing technique for just a little while. And when he started practicing it for a longer period, he felt like dying. So this is literally from the anime. His lungs and head would hurt and his eardrums would pound, and for a second he was terrified that his heart was coming out of his ears. So this is literally a scene in the anime, yeah? It's quite funny actually. But if you think about it, like I mentioned, and I draw that comparison to Super Saiyan and Goku and Gohan's training during the Cell Saga, if you think about it, total concentration is kind of like giving you that temporary boost in power. So that was kind of like how Super Saiyan was like. In that state, you get that temporary boost in power that's really, really powerful compared to not using total concentration, or in this case, not using Super Saiyan. And Goku's technique was to then transform into Super Saiyan and keep it constant, like always in that constant Super Saiyan state. And that allows you to transcend further, because your base state or your steady state is already at Super Saiyan. So in this case, it's like your steady state is your total concentration constant. So then when you need to power up, you can enhance your ability further. So I think it's quite similar, right? It makes sense, and conceptually it is relatable in that sense. So that's cool, and that's why our dear Tanjiro is in his pajamas basically, and that's the profile for Tanjiro Kamado Phase 3. And since we're done with that, we are done with Tanjiro's profile and log and this is our first log for Demon Slayer 02 BEMemory. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and splash some of Tanjiro's cup. So yes, by the way, the battle animation looks funny as well, because there's splashing of that cup that you see. The attack is actually part of the training as well. He's supposed to grab the cup and compete with Kanao, and whoever grabs the cup first gets to splash the other person with the tea. right? So that's quite hilarious, and he was actually very gentlemanly about that. If you are interested, you can watch that part. It's quite funny as well. So and of course, at first he kept getting splashed, right? That's what the whole point. Anyway, back to this. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please go and splash at the like and subscribe button, some of this bitter tea, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my uploads. I document every Digimon that I raise, and I have playlists for Vital Bracelet, Vital Bracelet BE, Digimon Color, Digimon Platinum Color, so please feel free to check them out. Otherwise, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye!